I made other videos about making the broadheads out of a canned food can. Well, see, it just slides out like that. And what I did is I cut a T with a knife into a wood dowel. And then most of the time it's pretty easy to slide it back together. Right now I'm having a little problem because it's hard to use a cell phone to record this because I don't have my camera and I'm not using that today. But here it is. And what this is, as you can see, this is a wood dowel. Okay, you can buy these wood dowels at Dollar General or anywhere per se, and you can see this versus this one. It looks a little different. And what I do to my bolts or arrows to make it look like it's camo, what I'll do is this right here. I take a lighter. Some people would use a turbo torch or different kind of torch. And what you do, it gives it a pretty cool little look when you do this. When you kind of scorch the wood. It's just, I'm showing you guys just cheap things I've learned being off the grid for over a decade. Kind of isolated from the world, the news and all the madness and the evil acts that's going on and all the craziness. This is what I've been doing for a long time. And I use these for hunting squirrel, rabbits, a lot of small game. I haven't made it to the level of hunting deer or something like that because I don't think it's quite capable of killing a deer, and I don't believe in torturing an animal when you harvest it. And if you notice, when I say harvest, I mean harvest, I don't mean kill, because when you're a farmer or rancher, you harvest animals, you harvest crops, you utilize things, and when you do that, and that's just part of it. It's part of being a hunter or sportsman to the real proper level. But if you can, as you see, this end is before and this end is after. It gives it more of a little bit of a camo approach to it. It's very simple. I mean, they're same wood dowel, the old one and the new one, and you can polyurethane them or anything and make them look pretty. But you can buy this at Dollar General. It's just a little kit of wood dowels, or you can purchase them on Amazon. It's pretty simple. Anybody can do it. It's more, you can do this stuff for like making, like if you have a man cave, you can take stuff like these. You can take these wood dowels, and you can tie them together and hang them on the wall where you got two broadheads, just for like a little display for like nostalgia. Because most man caves, everybody wants to have something interesting hanging on the wall or a conversation piece, and it's a very simple conversation piece if you want to know the truth. A wood dowel that costs probably what, maybe the wood dowels, a package of them costs maybe $5. The thing with wood dowels also, you have different sizes: 3/8, 5/16, a 1/4 inch is 1/4, and then 3/16. And the thing is, if you have the money, you can buy jigs for making your own wood dowels. It's a jig, and you can mount it into your vise. And then they have a kit also on Amazon. You put it into a drill, and then when you put the adapter into the drill, what it does, it locks it into the drill, and what it does, it makes a piece of wood spin so you can run it through the jig. And I've thought about doing something because I'm kind of frugal and I think about making stuff all the time. So I do a lot of pallet creations. If you take a pallet and pull the nails, and you could get the wood consistency right without it splintering to where it would break, you could run it down a table saw, and then you could actually run it through your jig, and then you can make your arrows or your wood dowels. To be able to do that, you'd have to have a jig to, because see, when I'm talking about a jig, it's just different sizes, like a hole or a square, and then actually it's like a circle with a notch in it. And then what you do is when you run the drill, it spins and it runs it through it, and it shaves it down. A jig's similar to like how when you have a wood lathe on both sides of a wood lathe, it spins like this and it locks it in. You can make bowls, etc. I mean, if you have knowledge about woodworking, you'll already know what a wood lathe is. They're kind of expensive, but I've been shopping around. I've seen them on Marketplace on Facebook and here and there, and they tend to have them for like, $60, $100, $200. One of the best places to buy woodworking tools is in Springfield, Missouri. It's called Grizzly, and they sell metalworking tools, woodworking tools, etc. But But this is just a little video on how I make some of my DIY arrows. And there's many other people out there that make their own. And then as far as making bows, I can give a hint to what you need to do. Is when you're making bows, some of the best wood, honestly, the very best wood to use, and sometimes it's in short commodity or be a little harder than others to get, is actually Osage orange. And then when Osage orange puts off like a seed, it looks like people call it spider balls. It's a green ball. It looks like a tennis ball with little bumps all over it. It's Osage orange or hickory, and then or black oak. Sometimes what I've been making my bows out of is I've been using walnut, and I'll cut it to where it's almost the size of a 4x4 post, and I don't have the proper equipment because you're supposed to put it into a chamber and let it cure so it won't splinter and all that. I mean, a poor guy like me then doesn't have all the equipment. There's another way of going about this. You can take a wood stave and a rope and a brick, throw it into water and let it set in a pond for a while, because a lot of wood won't rot underwater, especially the lack of oxygen. And I mean, if you look at Louisiana, down south, I mean, there's a lot of cypress wood that's been in the swamps for years in the water, and people harvest it and dive and pull it out. And I mean, the guy on TV was doing it, called the Shelby the Swamp Man. And that's what he does for a living. He goes out and pretty much gets cypress wood out of the swamp and where all the old wood mills was, and he sells it. But anyway, that's the closing. Just a little idea of how to make DIY arrowheads. That is all.